Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Call Time, a theater pod, where every role in theater matters. This is the space where we can talk about it all, where we can laugh, learn, and sometimes call out the chaos. So sign in on the sheet, because it's call time. My name is Marisa Helene Mast. Today we are back with another Marquee Moment, which is where we take the spotlight on a show, a project, a special occasion presentation experience that deserves to be on your radar. Please take your seats. Take a sip out of that very overpriced intermission cup that is definitely worth its weight in gold, because soon enough, probably won't be able to have cups that you can just throw away willy-nilly. That's a weird thing to say, but I'm going to move on because we are here today with two wonderful actors of the brand new play that is premiering at InterAct Theatre in Philadelphia, and we are going to be talking about SENG'S Hair Salon. Hey, y'all. How are ya?
Hi, my name is Karen Lee. I play Saroon in SENG'S Hair Salon.
My name is Daniel Ubin Burgess. I play Prince.
Awesome. Well, I'm so happy to have you both here. I think a solid first question to kind of get us going is, what is SENG'S Hair Salon?
Yeah, so it is part of the Philly Cycle, which is a commission project that InterAct started. This is the second of 3 commissioned plays that are focused on stories about Philadelphia. So this one in particular focuses on the Southeast Asian community. There is, in fact, a salon called SENG'S Hair Salon here in South Philly. And this play is loosely based upon some of the experiences that our playwright kind of gathered from the community, and also the family that does run that salon.
Very cool. I just love that connection immediately, because when I told my parents about the play, they were like, "Oh, I know the salon. It exists." And I went, "Yeah, I know. And now there's a play to go with it." So that's really, really awesome. And I'm curious, what drew each of you to the piece?
I don't want to speak for Karen. First of all, Karen, what a wonderful explanation. I was preparing what to say in my head, and I was like, but I just have a strong feeling Karen's going to nail it. So I'm glad you took it, and that was just perfect. What drew me to the piece, personally, was just working with a plethora of Asian artists. That was huge for me. Looking into the room and just seeing the director, the playwright, and all the actors, resonating from a background that I belong to. May it not be exactly the same because the focus mainly on Lao and Vietnamese Asians. However, I still felt just connected immediately, and of course, it being based on a real salon in Philadelphia, I also feel like, wow, I'm really part of this community. Huh? I'm really a Philly. I felt more Philly than ever. And I'm not from Philly, so it just made me feel connected. And we're telling stories right here in the community. It felt important, to be a part of it. So I felt honored.
I love that a lot. Actually.
I'm actually not from Philly. I live in Baltimore. So number one, it was a really excellent chance for me to come and get to know the area. This is the first time that I've had a chance to really spend a significant amount of time in Philly, and I've been loving it. Also, I really adore new play development. The opportunity to really get in on the ground level and build the story and seeing the way that it changes over time just is really special. And especially with a group like this, it's been so fun every day.
I love that, especially new play development is something I'm extraordinarily passionate about, which is why I do this segment alone. Marquee Moment is for new play development, because I want everyone to understand that it's such a cool process, and being able to talk to people who are working on it from the inside out is just what an honor and true privilege to be talking to both of you about this, because it's what makes this all more joyous for me. And I'm curious to know if, throughout this process, if there's been more than one, great, but has there been a moment throughout this that has really brought you joy as an artist, or validated your pursuit as an actor and performer?
God, it's hard to just pinpoint one.
I know.
Yeah, I think the thing that I'm really taking away from the whole room is that we're here to listen to each other, and truly being able to gather all of our expertise and all of the cultural nuances that we're all bringing into the room, and truly having a group that is here that is focused towards the excellence of the play. So, taking the ego out of it, taking, anything that's just kind of extra, right? I mean, we're really here to tell the story and find what the story can be. And I think that there's something that we really find every day, that's like, oh, this is new. Like, oh, I heard that differently. And that I think being able to share a space with other people who are also bringing that energy is something that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean, echoing Karen as well. I think, when we did that first read through and everybody was in the room and we're all, there's a weight to this project that I have not experienced in the past, where we're telling a story, about culture, not typically told or seen on theater stages, along with a community that lives right here in the city. And I think the people of color in the room being here all together telling the story, I don't know, it was just when we did that first read through and I was sitting there just being like, wow, this is a very special thing that we're doing. And my partner was, I was telling her all day, I was like, I am so nervous. And she just told me, she says, don't get too nervous that you get lost in the moment. Enjoy the moment, be grateful for the moment. And so that first read through of the script, really was just like, this feels special. So that brought me a lot of joy. And it validated my pursuit as an artist too, because as I said before, being an Asian actor and seeing other Asian artists, like seeing Karen, who funny enough, I've not told her this in person, and I'm gonna tell it now.
Exclusive.
Seeing someone
Heard it
like
here first, folks.
I know, you're hearing it now, but she kind of looks like my sister, and seeing her, I'm envisioning my sister as an artist, and it was just, I don't know, it brought me a lot of comfort, a lot of joy, and all of a sudden I feel closer to the people around me than I've ever felt before, because of just that connection that we have with our identities.
Daniel actually shared something with us in the room. So Daniel shared that this was the first time that he'd been in a cast of all other Asians. Number one, it still is something that is pretty infrequent. And so being able to have a group full of Asians who are all sharing our own individual experiences, because we all come from different diaspora. I'm Chinese, Daniel's half Korean, we have Vietnamese, we have Filipino, we have so many different ethnicities that are all coming together, and being able to kind of share that space and really find what brings us all together has been so special.
Oh, that is extraordinary. And like my heart is like so warm just thinking about how much comfort and joy, and just I'm so glad that this has been such a wonderful experience for both of you to have that. And with that, as grow with your cast and grow with the script, is there anything that you feel like you've really learned about yourself through your character?
So Saroon is a very open person. And I think she takes up space in this really bold way that is not what I would tend to do. I'm a very, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a small person, but I'm an introvert, and like I, don't tend to be the loud, big voice in the room. And so having an opportunity to play a character like that who enjoys being loud and can really kind of feel very emboldened. That's been special for me. I think having a chance to be that person has been really fun.
And I think for me, what drew me to the role was the connection that I had with Prince. I could, the balance of two divergent roads that Prince's journey follows throughout the play. A play where there's two decisions to be made. One, goes, they go in very different paths. And I just really connected to it. And I think something that Prince has taught me, being also a biracial, person, I'm constantly feeling these two paths that diverge into different directions. And I think Prince, I don't know, being so proud in his heritage and being proud about who he is as a person and how he identifies, I think that gave me a lot of like, that's something maybe I could pick up as well. But I really do connect personally with Prince, and just that's something that really drew me to the character.
Wonderful. Was there anything throughout, like as you're reading the script as well, where it just suddenly like hits you so close to home, or just like hits you in your gut and you go, oh, okay, let me take a moment. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a moment where it's every single time I do it with one of the other actors, Bijan, who plays my mother. We have this very tender moment of like, she says, I'm proud to have a great son. And I think that pressure of being an Asian American with immigrant parents coming to America, any immigrants feeling this pressure and this weight to be great, to be something, to make something out of ourselves, to, fulfill almost this promise, this unsigned promise you make with your parents to be great, to travel along a legacy that they brought you to this country to be something. And I don't know, every time we do that scene, I'll get a little choked up, and I'm like, wow, this is so real. This is so real for me, and I think many other people of color who have immigrant parents. Just the pressure to be something.
I find myself drawn to a lot of the smaller moments in the play, especially the relationship building, seeing how much all of these characters rely on each other, seeing how well they actually know each other and what that does to the dynamic as a whole, and seeing them kind of weaving in and amongst each other and building this really strong community that lifts everyone up. I think that comes out in the way that they're speaking to each other and the familiarity that they have and the trust that they have in each other. So really kind of seeing those in between moments and the way that they interact has been really, really sweet.
I know I keep repeating myself. I just genuinely love this. I just like, I get really pumped, and I besides your own, who's your favorite character? Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
Now we're getting down to it. One of my favorite characters in this play, that's not my character, is Auntie An.
Yeah.
She's a force of nature, and she's unapologetic, and she knows what she wants, and she knows who she is.
Yeah, that was my first answer that popped in my head too, because it's just such a, let alone like who Auntie An is in the show. I just feel like that's such a fun role to play. Just to be so like, almost that quote unquote princess track, or, the royalty of it, that she carries herself in every space. But she also has this soft space, for the characters in the show. And I there's just like really good balance of that character. So I'm going to try to not cop out and also say the same answer. I feel like, God, that's just such a good role. Oh, yeah. I'm Karen. I'm just picking up what you're saying about the spoiler role. I will just say this. There is a lot of movement in the show, and some of that movement connects to one of our other favorite characters in the show, and I'll leave it there.
Ooh, okay.
And you'll just have to come to find out.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You hear that, everybody? You better. Because if I can't go for any reason, y'all are going to have to tell me. What are you hoping that audiences will understand or take away by the time they leave?
I think a core theme for this play for me is what you can gain when you recognize what is important to you as a person and also as a community. So leaning into your own values and trusting in them enough, even when it gets hard.
I'll say for myself, and I think, it's very prevalent, especially in Philadelphia, that preserving culture is something that's very important, and that preserving your own culture, preserving other people's culture is very important. And I think when we do so, we're able to create spaces for all walks of life to come, and we can flourish together despite the differences. You know, I think that's a really big one for me when I see, act, and hear the show. It's just like, this is a very important thing, and I really hope, which I doubt, that people won't walk away and feel that way, because, you know, I just think it's just such a prevalent thing for the show itself, and especially in Philadelphia.
100,000,000%. 100,000,000,000% agree. Absolutely. So what I would like you to do now is I want you to stare down the camera, and I want you to manifest the future of SENG'S Hair Salon.
Well, from what I understand, the character that I am, my character Prince, who is inspired by, is creating another location of SENG'S Hair Salon in a different area, and very important. I hope that there's lash technicians and lash extension stations at that new SENG'S Hair Salon. That's my. I hope. Is this a literal question, or was this more
meant
of a
for the play? But for the place works as well. Honestly, I love.
I'll take it in the other
that.
direction. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Actually.
So, as with every new play, the dream is for it to go all over the place, right? So hopefully this is just the first stop. A story like this, I think, really flourishes anywhere that there is a strong immigrant community, because you see that dichotomy here, right? You see the ways that the salon has been flourishing, and the ways that it might be kind of facing some of its own natural challenges and struggles, and that's a really universal story across a lot of places that are, you know, where small businesses are really trying to fight the powers of capitalism and of gentrification. So any city, any area that is facing these similar problems of gentrification, I think this would really resonate with.
And manifest all of this. I manifest sold out performances. I manifest, I mean, this is just me. I manifest a pro shot. I'd love a pro shot. And I manifest the ultimate success for both of you, your cast, your crew of SENG'S Hair Salon. I am truly, truly grateful, and I'm very, very excited for this production. Last but not least, I would love to know when, who, what, when, where, why. When's the production? Where's the production? How can we follow more shenanigans having to do with the production and the company itself? And both of you, where can we find you?
Yes, you can check out SENG'S Hair Salon at the Drake Theater, at the Proscenium Theater to be exact.
Our first preview is going to be Friday the 17th. We open the following Thursday, that's the 23rd, and we close on May 10th, which is Mother's Day. So make sure you bring your mother out to see this show, which is really about a mother-daughter relationship.
This is true.
And so all of this information and more will be on screen and in the description box below. Karen, Daniel, I'm so happy to have had you here today. I am so excited for the show, and I am I am ready to feel feelings. So I want to thank all of you out there in Living Land for tuning in and signing in on the call sheet for this marquee moment of Call Time a Theater Pod. My name is Marisa Helene Mast. You are the audience. Bye-bye now.